Edward. We have no Eric and no Tony.
Tony's out of town this week.
Okay. Moment of silence. Okay.
We have minutes from November that we passed on last time because they were incomplete. They were over edited. So we have the November minutes. And then we have the minutes from our January meeting this year. So I've read over the November minutes. And I make a motion that we accept them.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. And then the January minutes from January 23rd, 2024. That's when we elected the new officers for 2024 again. And covered the chairman's report, the structural reports, and the chairman's report about the abominable snowman on the bridge. I make a motion that we approve those minutes.
Favor, say aye.
Aye.
I have no real report other than we might try to open it one day. Next month. Historical Society. Oh. Treasurer's report.
Bill, do you know, did they give you a treasurer's report from?
No.
Not, okay. So yeah, Willistown handles the everyday expenses. They did not provide Bill a report to give, so we'll forward that on at the next one, I guess. Regarding the structural rehabilitation, I didn't provide one because there were no expenses in the last period since the last one I gave you. So there was nothing to report on. It's the same report as it was the last time.
Guess we're setting a record here.
Yeah, it's a shame. So
Anybody have any comments?
the rehabilitation project, we had really hoped that we were going to have 3 quotes at this point for the stone pier work. We have not gotten that yet, so we're going to hit that. I'm going to try to get those wheels moving next week so that we could get those quotes in. The intention is to do it with at least three contractors that will provide a quote for the stonework. Then that's something that, depending on what they are, we bring them to the 2 boards of supervisors. We will absolutely keep the Joint Commission in the loop as that stonework quote work gets done. As soon as we have that, presuming it's favorable, we'll be able to put the structural rehabilitation work out to bid. So if you recall, the bid package has been broken into 3 separate parts. The stone pier work, which we're going to do first. Then we're going to put out the bid for the structural rehabilitation work, which was the majority of the project that we were bidding out. And then the sideboards is something that comes along at the end. And if that doesn't get done in this cycle, we can do that later on. That's not as essential to the bridge structure as everything else. So we'll start with the stonework. Once we see those numbers, then we can put out the structural work as a public bid, and then we would worry about the clapboards later.
I would just say when you get your bid package ready to go on stonework, just let me know so I can. We have Paul, would like to ask him, and
Yeah, I know you had a stonemason you were interested in. I know there's a couple stonemasons that have done work in Newtown. I know Bill's got a few that have done work over in Willistown. So the idea is that we're going to get the engineer there. Bill and I will be there, and we'll get some of these contractors in, explain to them exactly what they're putting their quote in for, and then we'll run with that. I will keep this board in the loop as that happens. We don't have to wait until the next meeting in 2 months to have any action on that. We're going to start really hitting the ground running on it.
Cool. All right.
FYI, I went past tonight on the way over, and one of the clapboards on the Newtown side down low is falling off. So if somebody can grab that and pack it or wire it back up.
Yeah, we'll take care of making
yeah.
sure that gets
You
back
know,
up.
right at the eastern edge on the highway side where
Okay.
that rotten clapboards are.
Is it one of the lower ones?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something we could get back into
Yeah.
place.
if I
Ed, I
see-
might ask for your help with it, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's all dependent on whether there's something to tack it to behind it. But I just don't want to see it fall off and float away.
yeah, if we have to put a little brace behind it for the time
Yeah.
being, we'll do that to give it something to screw into.
And then there's a giant deadfall tree just south of the bridge, just where it starts to turn on the Willistown side. It's probably 25, 30 feet long, snapped off at the base, rotten, and maybe 1.5 feet in diameter without any limbs to speak of on the top. So that's something that should be addressed. Otherwise,
Is it in the creek?
it's from the bank, it's right on the bank, and it's just touching in the creek. And it may be, you can see it right from the road as I drove by. And it's a fresh break because all the wood where it broke is bright clear, like a recent fracture. And it's not split, it's like dead break. Oh,
Sure, I can take a look tomorrow.
And there are, so shortly after Bill started full-time at Willistown, he and I met down there at the bridge to just kind of go over the area as well as the scope of the work that was coming up. We know that there are some trees that have come from the far side of the creek that are in the creek or leaning into it at least, and we're going to be working together, the two townships, to
Yeah.
address how to tackle that.
This particular one I was mentioning, if we got a 100-year rain, it would probably wash down the creek. So, when the flood waters get really high in that area, it would definitely pull it out. Cool. Public comment?
Public comment?